Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our composition books, and we're going to talk about a new concept this year. We're going to put this on the page opposite of where we worked with the place value disk. So that's going to be page 18, and we're going to talk about griddables. And I may have misspelled that. Griddables. I think it may have two D's, so go ahead and we're going to turn to page 18. And what griddables are, it's just a way to represent an answer when you're taking tests. A lot of times when we take tests, it may not be a multiple choice. It may be more of it's a griddable response is what we call it. I'll kind of show you what that might look like. Because when you take it, if you don't fill it out correctly, even if you do your work correctly, some stuff gets graded by somebody else. You know, I can look at your stuff usually and grade it, but when we send stuff off to be graded by other people, sometimes we will use griddables. And I'll write, probably misspell it, G-R. Griddables. So how they work. So for instance, if we had a problem on a test, it was say 333 plus 628. So we go ahead and work out the problem. We go 3 plus 8 is 11. I'll carry 1. I'll leave 1 in the ones place. 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. And then 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay. And on griddable responses in third grade, the highest it's going to go to is the hundredths place. You'll never have a griddable that has an answer in the thousands place. And if you do, that means you made a mistake. You did something wrong. Maybe you added instead of subtracted or something like that. So on this problem right here, my answer would be 961. So I'd go ahead in these blocks right here using correct place value. So 961. So for instance, if my answer was 1, I wouldn't put a 1 right here because that's a hundredths place. I'll go ahead and write, so this is a hundredths place, this is a tens place, that's a ones place. Don't write this on your griddable, but you just need to be aware that you need to fill it in correctly using correct place value. So I would bubble in the 1 for the ones place. And when you bubble them in, you got to bubble dark and neat. And you're going to be using a pencil too. 6 right under the tens place. You don't want to see any white when you're done bubbling. Okay, and then a 9 in the hundredths place. And you're bubbling dark and neat. You're not going outside the bubble. You shouldn't see any white when you're done bubbling. It's gotta be nice and dark. So there's when the machine reads it, it completely understands what your answer is. Okay, I went ahead and added another griddable right there for you, and we'll say sometimes you may not use all these, but you need to be aware of the place value again. The place value. This is a ones place, tens place, hundredths place. So for instance, say we do something simple, 2 plus 2. Okay, if I went ahead and that equals 4. So if I went ahead and put a 4 right there and bubbled in the 4 right there and didn't bubble any of the others, that would be 400. Or if I put the 4 right here, that'd be 40. Okay, you have to make sure you use the correct place value. 4 right there, and you bubble in the 4. You don't need to mark the zeros. It's not going to count wrong if you do mark the zeros. Okay, if you did put zeros there and bubble in the zeros, that's okay. If you don't put anything, it's automatically going to recognize it as a 0. Okay, also when you're bubbling in, make sure it stays in the circle. That's not right. Okay, make sure you bubbled in dark and neat. Okay, that wouldn't count. And this is good. Dark and neat. I can't think of any other non-examples of what wouldn't be right, but make sure it's got to be inside the circle, it's got to be dark, and it's got to be neat, and you need to fill in the blocks above it neatly also.